Dude, you and that fucking cat.
Yeah, I love that cat.
Big
All right,
Goose.
what's going on, everybody? It's Josh, aka the Muslim, also coming at you with a next up podcast. Colin, talk to him. Say what it
And your
do.
boy, how you doing? It's cousin Creamy coming at you.
And we got the boys today, Kirhee, Gabe, and Gabe. We're gonna let you introduce the
I never gets old. It never
This is
gets old.
Goose, all 19 pounds of him.
big body,
Fucking
big body.
Christ.
He's
Oh,
bulking through the winter.
Has to, has to. All right. So, first time we've had repeat guests on. This is awesome.
Four time
Big Muscle
four.
Factory. Oh yeah, core four. Is that what we're gonna call it? Ooh,
Oh
like
man, that
that.
was that was lightning.
oh
Yeah, there
God.
we go. We don't have TikTok anymore, so we can't post them on TikTok. Whatever. Things happen. We'll probably have TikTok by the time this goes
It'll
live.
be back at like fucking 2 days.
Yeah, 11:59:01 a.m. Boom.
Continue the brain rot.
All right, let's get into it. So today we brought Kyrie and Gabe on to talk about their upper lower training split and their experience that they are no longer running. So we're gonna find out all the ins and outs. Who wants to go first? Actually, you know what? I know how we're gonna run this. Gabe, what did you like about it?
I really enjoyed the frequency of it, honestly, because I was not hitting everything twice a week. So I noticed that when we were on our previous split before, I was only hitting quads once a week. So getting to hit quads twice a week, I noticed a big difference just in terms of how volumized my quads were staying. So I really liked that. I also liked only training 4 days a week. Like, don't get me wrong, I love to train, but knowing I had the full weekend off because we were just going Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Just training 4 days was so nice. Like I felt very refreshed going. I would feel pretty beat up on that Friday, that second leg day. But by the time Monday rolled around again, I was ready to rock for the week.
Oh, Kyrie, what'd you like about it? I think I know why you didn't like it.
Because I was training with Gabriel. That's it. If there was like a higher, it's like number one, training with Gabriel. Number two, um, I think like seeing like the lift progressions and knowing that you only have like let's say like four sets of chest that one day, you have to make those count. Instead of knowing that you have 12, it's kind of like, oh, you missed a set. That's okay. Because you have, three different exercises. Um, so it's that sniper mindset, I like to say, of like making each set truly count. Because if you jack it up, you're not progressing within that week. Um, yeah, I think that's it. That's it.
There's such a finality to it. All right, now let's go cons. Kyrie, kick it off. Why?
All right,
Why did
cool.
you hate it?
Well, I'm made out of glass, right? So I have two shoulder surgeries, and like I was beat up often, like often, and especially whenever we broke up like the leg press in one day, like on Friday, and then squat on the next day. It
Oh,
was like because we on Thursday we leg press like the second to last exercise. So like the loading comes down considerably. But like whenever you're doing that, it's like the loading stays high on both days. And then my knees was also taking a beating. And it was also like I remember I forgot what day it was, but I came over to drop off the cookies. And I looked at you and I was like, I don't want to train. Like I don't want to go. And even when I was like home for Christmas, I switched back to the five day split because it was like I don't want to go. It's not fun. Like short progression was like dope. It was like sweet, but it was like okay, do I want to? It's like I couldn't do it.
It seems like it just gets to be too much. I think that's the whole thing with Jordan Peters, why he says like full body training is all well and good until you start to get into dangerous territory of like this takes too long. Like
Yeah.
warming up takes too long and just heavy ass loading is gonna beat you up every time you step in the gym. So talk to him again. What'd you hate about it? If you hated it
Awesome.
at all.
There wasn't much that I hated, honestly. Like that was probably the most excited I've ever been about a specific split. Um, so yeah, honestly, just like going in there and just like knowing that we had that heavy top end loading every single day because we're coming in off of that off those 3 days of rest. Um, I love that aspect of it, honestly. Like if we could both make it work where we could still do upper lower together, I would still like to be doing upper lower. But I think that the reason why I wanted to switch back to the previous 5 day split we were on is so that me and Kirhee can train together. Because I think I get more value, or we both get more value out of training together than we do out of me doing, a specific split, but I'm by myself. He's doing a specific split and he's by himself. So if like that's the minor sacrifice that I have to make is going back to that 5 day split and then rearranging some of the volume, then I'm totally good with that.
I also want to like piggyback off of that. It's like there's nothing special or magical about a specific split. It's all about just allocation of volume, right? So like Gabriel still has some weak points that is my strong points. Let's say like arms, right? He can still throw in his arm volume while I go do something else if possible. Does that make sense? So it's not like
Yeah.
the Branch Warren Johnny Jackson where Branch had killer quads, Johnny not so much, but they train together, and I think that was the issue where it's like, dude, you have to kind of like go do your own thing because those training with Branch while training quads probably didn't work for you in the long run, if that makes any sense.
100%.
Mm.
So what did your typical Monday training session look like? Obviously, you guys probably had A through D rotations, right? He's looking for the logbook.
Yeah.
Just in the car.
Did you guys have like a B rotation or like A through D rotation where it was like 4 different workouts every 2 weeks?
We did AB. So it was obviously like the A session on Monday. So it was like upper one, lower one, upper two, lower two, and then we just repeat the next week. So we're hitting that same workout every 7 days, basically. And I
Gotcha.
personally, I really like that because then it's like I know like Monday is like my incline press day. Tuesday is our hack squat day. Thursday is what we're doing. Thursday for the upper day. That was like our big back day. We were doing our Smith rows on there. And
Yeah,
Friday was our pull from the floor day.
which was dumb. That was dumb. That was terrible, terrible.
So it
I
was
was
it
gonna
was
say I could see why your back was fried on Friday.
Man,
see, that's the thing that was like it was dumb, but for me it was like that was the extra little kick that I needed to stay locked in on that Friday. Because by Friday, like we're both fried.
yeah.
But then it's like we just have to get over this one big hump and then get through the rest of the workout, and then we get to have 2 days off for the whole weekend. So for me, it was kind of like a reward almost, where it's like if I can get through these deadlifts and progress them, then I can go into these next 2 days of the weekend with the mentality of okay, I actually earned this rest that I'm about to take right now.
Yeah, definitely makes sense. Do you guys think that you could have maybe prolonged the split, or your knees wouldn't have been hurting if you turned around and
No,
did like a upper one, upper two, upper three, upper four, where you separated some of the movements, maybe did some pre-exhaust on some days and changed it up throughout the week or throughout the 2 weeks of like different styles of training.
we could have definitely stayed on it if we wanted to, right? But it was never a want. That's the thing. And especially whenever the fun thing about bodybuilding is training. And if that gets daunting and just be like, then it's like, okay, everything else just turns into shit, right? So it's kind of like adhering to like your clients, right? If they can't eat chicken and rice 6 times a day and they need like, I don't know, a damn put it in
Cereal.
a tortilla or some sourdough bread, just like, okay, cool, as long as you can adhere to the program. Or cereal, like you said. Like me, it was just like I wasn't getting a pump, and that's a big factor too, because I think like a lot of people, well, I don't say a lot of people, right? But what I see on social media is like a lot of people are preaching like the progressions in the gym, mechanical tension, and it's just like thumbs up, like primary driver of hypertrophy, and then they completely disregard the rest of it, right? When it's kind of like I see like a nice parallel is which one's more important, training, diet, PEDs, or rest? And it's like, well, all of it's important, right? So yes, you should progress your logbook. Yes, you should also get a good enough pump where you're volumized, for lack of a better word. And yes, you should go in there with violent intentions to cause as much damage to the muscle. And I feel like with upper lower, I wasn't getting a pump. Sure, we'll be wrecked, but like I don't know, like especially switching back to the 5 day split, I'm starting to have like a little bit more pop to the muscle.
Yeah, definitely, definitely makes sense. Have you ever heard of this is from a Jordan Shallow thing, but progressive overstimulus?
Yes.
So like how I look at I used to be live by the logbook, die by the logbook. But wow, jeez Louise. Live by the logbook, die by the logbook. But ever since prep, pretty much, I threw the logbook away. I haven't even looked at it. Just simply because if if the weights stay the same, but I feel a lot more, I'm counting that as a win. I just count W's. I'm just
Mm.
checking off, making sure that I won that set. And if I feel it more than I felt it the last time, but I match reps, that's a win. If I get more reps, cool. But I'm not digging for an extra rep if I can make this last one harder.
Colin, do
That
you
makes
logbook?
sense.
Huh?
You logbook? Does Jack make you logbook?
Yeah, it was a big thing in prep for me. But then it kind of took a back seat in this offseason just because it got to the like I'm big top set back off, and because I went from Mr. Working Set and now I've been doing top set back off, and it's just like I've kind of had to move away from that progressing into the off season. Now it's like I'm getting so strong that it's like my joints can't fucking keep up. It's like my walk around weight really should be like 195. I'm sitting at a very fat 215.
Nice.
And again, joints really are just taking a fucking beating. Hack squats. Like my knees never really hurt. They hurt like a motherfucker. I mean, when I go and try and amp myself up for a 6 plate hack squat, I really just get more anxiety from leg day than anything. But it's just, I think more so, like I'll have logbook through prep, but that's just to make sure and hold myself accountable and also like remember what fucking weights I did when I go brain dead when I'm like 4 weeks out. But
For sure. Gabriel, do you? Oh, my bad.
You good?
Why do you logbook? Can you tell the people why you logbook?
I enjoy the mental challenge of it more than anything else. So kind of like what Colin was saying, where you get that anxiety before leg day. For me, I get a lot of reward out of that anxiety because to me, like that means to me that it means something. And so it's like having that feeling going into the session where it's like, man, I just pulled 4 plates for 13 last week on my stiff legs. I either have to add 2.5 pounds, I have to add 5 pounds to each side, or I have to get another rep. It's like, okay, now I have to go in here and find a way to pull that out, even if I'm not feeling it, whatever it might be. But then I also think the mental challenge is staying disciplined enough to not ruin your form just to chase the logbook. And so if you can master those two things and kind of standardize one, the form, and then not compromise the form just when you are chasing a new number or a new stimulus, however you want to call it, then I think that's where you really get a lot of bang for your buck. But I also see the value in once you get to a certain point where either your body weight is too heavy and performance doesn't really continue to improve, or if your joints are starting to hurt, then yeah, I don't think that you necessarily have to keep a logbook. But to me, I get a lot of value in it. So that's why I do it.
Yeah. And I definitely see like the thought process with everyone, right? Where Josh is kind of like, no, no, not really. You guys go in there and kill myself.
Mhm.
And then Gabe, you're just like, I need a win, you
Yeah.
know? And like I literally like Gabriel, you know how many logbooks I have. If I'll start logbooking for like 4 weeks and I'm like, nah, whatever.
Yep.
And then I'll buy another one. Like, but okay, it's not a logbook. Ah, never mind. Like this is the first time I'm consistently logbooking. And it was hard to not like stay disciplined and stay locked into the movement and not just be like, I'm caveman. I have to make this number go up by any means, right? Progressive over stimulus. Even if it stays the exact same, how did it feel? Did I get a little bit more range of motion? Did I control the weight a little bit better? Did I pause in a hole a little bit longer? All those are definitely like tally marks and be like, okay, I progressed today, even if the logbook didn't say so. But it's
Mhm.
hard because like you technically lost, if that makes
Yeah.
any sense,
yeah.
you know?
I have a perfect example about that from this week. Literally hit Nautilus flat chest, and last week got 7 reps. This week I got 7 reps again, but I moved the seat back one, so I got a little bit deeper on the range of motion. That's a win. That's a huge win because I wasn't able to go that deep the week before, and I was almost pin pressing the thing. Now I
Mhm.
turned around and got all foggy over there.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah, I don't know
That
what
was
just
weird.
happened.
Yeah, you know.
I like saw it happen. That picture completely disappeared. So
It's a ghost,
when we
man.
watched that back, I was like, yo, where'd that go? Yeah, so just getting a little bit deeper, being able to, I mean, something as simple as I don't know if you guys experienced this issue, but like I got very heavy very quick. Mobility kind of just went out the window. Um, but I couldn't get into the bottom of a hack squat and press out without my heels coming off. If I can keep my heels on it and do the same weight for the same amount of reps, that's still a progression. That's a better form. So maybe it's not a logbook per se, but like I'll look back at the videos. I record all my top sets. I'm going up in weight weekly, but I'm also looking to see if that little change happens. And if my heels come up the same amount, but I went up 50 pounds, I'm still counting that as a win. So I'm going to work to perfect the form on the back offset, but that top set, I'm probably just going to turn up. So I love the cat. I just love the cat. The cat's like Delilah, but Delilah's way too big for this. Way too big.
For your guys' upper lower split, how long were you on that split for?
6 weeks,
6 weeks, something like that.
six,
Yeah.
7 weeks. Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to say, but I mean, your physical progressions, like physique wise, was there anything that was drastically different compared to, say, the prior split?
You seen this motherfucker on the top?
Mother, bro,
Have y'all seen what Kyrie looks like right
can we
now?
just get a fucking answer? Because comparing two splits, dickhead. You know what? I'll just go fuck myself and be quiet in this
No, no,
corner.
no. As he exits the call.
Motherfucker.
No, I think I sent Gabriel progress pictures and like check-ins when we were like 5 weeks deep, and I was up 10 pounds,
Yeah.
and like similar conditioning too. Even though basically you can take the one off of Instagram, from October to January, because I did the majority of that upper lower, and like yes, like physique goals, like definitely thumbs up, progress, like dope, but it was like at what cost, if that
Yeah.
makes any sense.
Yeah. Gabe.
100%.
I mean, for me, I definitely noticed a difference in the physique. Also, I might be biased because I'm basically still coming out of a show that I did back in November. And so it's like at that point, it's like you can throw whatever the fuck you want at the wall, something's gonna stick, right? So it's like food's coming up, cardio's being done, et cetera, et cetera. Basically, as long as you're training hard, you're gonna make some good progressions coming out of a show prep. But like Kyrie was saying, it's like walking around, like I could feel how volumized like everything felt. Like right now, I'll be honest, like we switched back to this 5 day split. I am beat to shit right now because this is the first time I've trained 5 days in a week in fuck 3 months now, something like that. And so it's like I was telling my girl earlier or last night too, like, damn, like I don't even want to walk into this shoulder day right now. It's only shoulders and triceps, but everything just feels fried because
Yeah.
we did a full back day on Friday, which we haven't done a full back day, a full secondary back or yeah, full back day together in a while because we break it up as an upper day. So it's like chest, back. It's like we're doing two back movements on our upper days.
Mhm.
But after like 5 exercises of a full back day, I woke up Saturday morning and I was just like, oh my God, this is different.
Like I was walking on my walking pad today, and my lower back was screaming at me the entire time. I got 7 minutes deep, and I had to kick my feet up against the wall because I was like, I can't do this, bro.
Yo, pause.
Hey,
Hey,
yo.
yo.
You get real comfy in that position, huh?
Yo, chill, bro. Mind your business.
Yo, a little Diddy Bob never hurt nobody. Except for all the people that hurt. What is your current split?
Cool.
So we got back and hams on Monday. Tuesday is going to be chest and biceps. Wednesday is going to be rest day. Thursday is leg day. Friday is our second back, and we're throwing biceps on there as well. And then Saturday, he has shoulders and triceps. And today, I have shoulders and triceps on Sundays.
Okay. What about when do you pull off the floor then? Monday?
Monday.
Gotcha. So to a degree, I feel like that split also just works out better. So you guys aren't sitting there doing the Smith rows and hinging from the floor on back-to-back days. So how's your
Yeah.
recovery been since switching from upper lower to the 5 day split?
Like my legs are fried until probably like Tuesday, and we have to hit legs on Thursday. My back stays fried. Um, and the only thing that recovers like well is like shoulders and arms for me. Um, Perfectly fine. But like chest, that's going to stay fried until Monday. And I think we did, I don't know, I got to pull out the log because I think I messed around with the volume, probably around like 10 sets of chest, two, four, yeah, so just say 10 sets of chest. And that's enough to carry me over and the chest stay full until it's time to hit it again.
Yeah, see, I'm
Gotcha.
not. But
You said what?
it's also, I said I'm not recovering that well. But this is also week one of me being back on this split because I ran upper lower all the way up until I left for Mexico last weekend. So this Tuesday was like my first day back on the split or back on the 5 day. So right now I'm pretty beat up, especially as my body's getting acclimated to training the 5 full days a week again. And I feel like we kind of had that same experience with upper lower as well because we threw a bunch of upper volume that first day and then we do all our lower volume the next day. And then by Wednesday, we're both just like, oh shit, like this is going to take some time to acclimate. I think
Mhm.
my body will probably take another 2 weeks or so to acclimate. And then at that point, the soreness and the fatigue will kind of start to die down a bit as my body gets used to training those 5 days.
But I think
You
it's
guys
also,
find, I was gonna say, you guys find yourself weaker at all in the same, I'm figuring the lifts kind of stayed the same or are not progressing as fast with the added rest.
no, no, I think I got stronger. I think I hit like 315 on Smith for like the first time in a very long time. Um, Deadlifts, I mean, like we used to deadlift as what the third exercise, and now on that Monday, now I do it as my last exercise, and it's pretty much like matching. If not, I'm losing a rep after like a full back day, some hamstrings, and then pulling from the floor. So I think it's I come in fresher, especially like coming on those leg days, and whenever it's time to squat, it's like okay, cool, I'm ready. I'm mentally ready to squat because I didn't just hit legs a few days ago.
Yeah, I think
Gotcha.
for me, my big problem day in terms of like losing strength is going to be on that Tuesday push day, the chest and biceps. Because one, I'm already a notoriously pretty weak presser as it is. I've got long ass arms and I've just never had strong triceps to begin with. And so now that we've changed up the split where Monday we're finishing off our workout by pulling off the floor and then walking in on Tuesday straight to an incline Smith press, I can feel it in my back already. Like just trying to brace for the incline press, like I can feel like, oh, like I can't feel like I brace as hard when I'm getting ready to hit this. So I think Tuesday is probably going to be the need to be the day that I start to look out and be like, okay, how's my fatigue from Monday leading into this?
Colin, you got some?
No.
All right, cool. I have a question. I just want to let him get a chance if you have one. Um, so I mean, I know how Dino works. I'm not really sure how Justin works, but I'm pretty sure it's probably going to be a high sale, training day, rest day type of diet. So with the increase in frequency now, you guys training a whole another day a week. Have you seen any differences in how your body weight's progressing, or
Yeah,
honestly, added recovery from that going up?
no, mine's went down. So Dino increased my cardio. He increased food, increased cardio, and then added another training day. So I was basically going, I was like 218 trending up, like finally. And then I came back down to 215, I think. Let's just say 215. And I've been stuck there. And like today I woke up at 217.6. It's like, okay, now my body is starting to, soak it all up. Like even Dino looked at me, he was like, okay, what meals are you missing? And I'm like, dude, I promise. Even Gabriel was like, yo, you missing meals? And I'm like, dude, I promise. I'm like, I'm checking the box. But it's the increase in expenditure that's creating that nullified gap now. Because once you increase food and increase expenditure, you're basically back at
Yep.
zero.
I gotta
Yeah.
ask, how much cardio does he have you doing?
30 minutes, 5 times a week.
Okay, cool.
Fuck
Yeah.
Thank
me.
God.
Wait, I
Same
still
here.
can't believe you're doing 5:30, Josh. Fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm at 6 for 30,
Yeah,
but
well, you're off a fucking show. It's understandable.
I'm also just a lifelong fat boy, so
I'm
I
on 2:30.
I need the cardio.
Yeah, Colin
Are you
goes for
serious?
walks. Colin
Yeah,
goes for walks.
I do 12,000 steps a day and then 2 sessions on my rest days and no cardio on my training days.
That's
Dang.
lovely.
Must be
Oh,
nice.
fuck yeah.
That's a
I've been
lot of
doing
movement.
I've been doing cardio cardio just got taken out this past week, and we're gonna do that until it's time to suffer again.
What
If
show?
Kyrie,
Junior Nats.
Junior Nats? Josh, you going back to Universe? Junior
yes,
Nats?
sir. I'm
Let's
doing
go.
universe. If Junior Nats were to happen, that would be a shot in the dark. I'm not even telling Colin until I pull up. I
Yeah,
just
because
fly
That's
down
fucked
there and be like, "Hey, buddy, let's
up.
do it."
yeah,
Oh,
playing Junior Nats and hopefully just go up as a pro and go watch Josh win his pro card at Universe.
let's go.
Yeah, we're
Oh yeah.
trying to sucker Gabe and Kyrie into coming too. So we'll talk more about that at a future time. But we're
Yo, and we're
trying to
not doing
drag
this fucking
Kyrie out of
Six
the
Flag
pack
trip.
We're
here.
I
not
was
doing
thinking about this. We're not doing this fucking Six Flag trip.
What do you
That's not
mean
a
no
thing.
Six Flags?
That's not a
What do you
fucking
mean?
thing. That's not a thing.
It's fantastic. It's a great
You want to go
Yeah,
idea.
2 hours
grown men
south
on.
and go fucking 5 hours north back to Long Island, you're beat.
Yeah, the day after a show, it's for the pictures. It's
Josh just
always
wants
for
to
the
go.
picture.
Josh just wants to go on like that one log water ride where you go down and he wants to get a picture of him going like this.
Literally,
One
as the
hundred
water's
percent.
splashing up.
Exactly.
100%. Y'all saw the day after the show when I was on my own boat, and I absolutely flexed on the boat. Still had show 10 on.
Oh
Absolutely.
man.
But at the end of the day, when it comes to like what are the best lessons that you guys think you learned from the upper lower split?
Don't do
If
it.
there's something you would tell
Gabriel,
to the community. Yeah, we had to circle it back.
what you got, Gabriel?
I think it's just be very self-aware of what it's doing to your training performance. And then I think one of the biggest lessons that people can take away from titrating volume up and down is don't be married to the actual volume itself if you're noticing performance detriments. Because I've definitely had this problem before in the past where I'm like, okay, cool, I'm doing 3 sets of this exercise, I'm doing 3 sets of this exercise, whatever it might be, right? And so you get used to a baseline of like 15 sets per workout, right? And then over the first like couple of weeks, like, yeah, maybe you can progress those, but then you kind of hit a wall and then you're starting to notice performance is starting to come down. If you're able to actually look at that objectively and be like, hey, you know what? 15 sets probably isn't good for me anymore. Maybe I need to drop it down to 13 sets or 12 sets. Be able to do that and be objective with yourself and be like, okay, am I still progressing? Am I hitting all of my recovery variables that I need to hit? Am I sleeping? Am I hydrating? Am I getting all my meals in? Am I managing stress well, et cetera, et cetera? Then I think it definitely can be a good split. But I think that that lesson goes for any split. It doesn't just necessarily go for upper lower.
Yeah, I think any split works as long as you do. Like that's like period. Like you, but minus like the full body. You know what I mean? Like that's a beginner split, I guess you can say. But once you like start to have some physique development, it doesn't really matter how you allocate your volume. You just have to go in there and progress your lifts righteously and not just kind of just beat a number just to beat a number. Um, so yeah, upper lower, push pull legs. We all have different volume allocated for our body parts. We just find what works for us and stay in our lane. That's it, and go to, JP on his membership website and learn from him. And then go watch Hani Rambod train and see and pick and choose what works for you. And then once you find out the formula, dude, just stick to it. Just block out all the noise.
Yeah, and I will say as well, don't be afraid to get a little weird with your splits because, like Kyrie said, at the end of the day, a split is just volume allocation over the course of a week, right? And so if that means like, oh, hey, I have a push day on Tuesday, it's like, okay, that you can also throw in like 3 sets of hamstrings on your push day if you haven't hit legs for 3 or 4 days now. It's like it doesn't necessarily, you don't have to box it in as like it's only a push day. Or
Yeah.
like throwing some rear delts at the end of your leg day, or throwing biceps at the start of a shoulder day, or something like that, right? You can get weird with it as long as you're able to recover effectively and you're getting your full volume across the full week.
Yeah.
That was probably the most attractive thing to the upper lower split for me. Um, was I saw it as an opportunity to, yeah, it's an upper day, but if you turn around, let's say you did upper rest, lower rest, upper rest, and so on and so forth. Yeah, you're not training a lot, but like you can probably go pretty high volume because you don't have to rest or you're resting the next day, but also you could
Mhm.
probably tack on like a quad, 3 sets of quads where you keep it lower volume so that the lower day is a little bit less, and pick and choose where you wanted to place things, and that, as you said, you could have fun with it, but you could also turn around and start having a day that's like glutes, quads, and side delt, not rear delt, just because it's not a back day, but it's side delt because you just want to do laterals. And then
Yep.
like your chest day has like hamstrings and calves, but like 2 exercises of chest. It's like you can start to get a little aggressive with it to where people are like, yo, what are you doing?
Yep.
We
Just walk in
kind of
the
like,
gym and you have no idea.
Like,
I
yeah,
mean,
it's
you
my
can kind of,
hamstring, calf, and biceps day.
well, yeah, like you can kind of, if you follow Dr. Mike Israel, he posts all of his splits online, and he'll delt shoulders, forearms, then it's like toes, calves, and fucking rear delts. You're like, what the fuck? And
Yeah,
it's like it
shoulders and
makes
knees and
no
toes.
sense, but again, but
There
like
you
as
go.
long as it works for you, then as long as
Oh,
you're progressing your lifts, it's fucking
Yeah.
always brings on Delilah when I'm talking to distract everybody. This is
No,
the
never
utter
that.
just go fuck yourself that I needed.
Jesus.
Colin, it's all right, bro. It's all right,
Been a
man.
See,
fucking
I say
day.
locked into what he's saying. Delilah just happened to be here. We had to let the people say hi. No,
Oh my.
I fully agree that like at the end of the day, when you find what works for you, you run that, you stick with it, and everyone finds their tipping point. I mean, perfect example is Colin, how many sets of quads are you currently doing a week? Actually, every 2 weeks.
7.
huh.
So like must be nice. Quads are a very strong point for him, something that I will never experience. I'm still doing somewhere around 30 sets of quads a week.
Yo, if
It's just
you want to see men's wellness, fucking 30 sets, I'm fucking there, boy.
yeah, it's just like am I able to recover from it from a joint perspective? No. My knees hurt, my hips hurt. But to a degree, a lot of those sets are going to be leg extension sets that were I say 30 sets of quads, but it's really 30 sets of legs. Like there's going to be a lot of leg curls that don't hurt my knee or my hip. There's going to be a lot of leg extensions that don't hurt my hip. My knee is going to be screaming afterwards. But the squat press isn't going to hurt either. So like we're going ham on that. And it's just finding what works. And like tell you this, squat shoes saved my knees this week. I'll be able to do more quads next week.
There you
So
go.
little stuff like that is you find what works for you and you move forward. I remember I was asking Colin for like 2 weeks straight if he thought squat shoes were a good idea. It was just I had to. I had to figure it out for myself though. I could use anybody else's kind of recommendations or split recommendations, but it might not work for you. So the ability to pivot and change is definitely what you need at the end of the day. And finding what works for you is best policy.
And
So
especially just, finding what works best for you, but also what works best for your body. To say for you, like, your knees are getting beat to shit, your joints are taking a huge toll. It's just finding the movements that I wouldn't necessarily like to say that hurt the least, but that feel the best. And just because your coach says it needs to be a 45-degree leg press, Arsenal strength, it doesn't have to be. It can be a fucking squat press. And it's like, just because it says one thing doesn't mean you have to do that exactly. Like, yeah, it's all well and good to, do exactly what your coach says, but if you can substitute but execute the exact movement what you're trying to do, but one feels better than the other, for longevity purposes, do the one movement for the sake of your joints. Because again, for you, if you were to get thrown on Arsenal strength with no squat shoes, your knees would end up at the back of the fucking room. Whereas if you're squat press with your squat shoes, your mobility is going to be a lot better, your execution is going to be a lot better, and you're going to be able to push a lot more weight a lot comfortably while executing or while utilizing the muscles needed while limiting the secondary muscles surrounding.
So I have a
y'all can't
question.
hear that, right?
No.
No.
No,
Okay, thank
I have a question. Where do you kind of draw the line then? Like you said right now, like my knees are screaming at me. I'm doing 30 sets of legs a week. At what point is it this is too much volume for the amount of discomfort and pain that I'm experiencing? And obviously within bodybuilding, there's this mentality of like, oh yeah, I have to push through the most pain and discomfort, ideally within the muscle, not within the joints. So at what point do you kind of start looking at your training and make a decision to be like, maybe I need to pull back from the 30 total sets a week, maybe drop it to like 24 or drop it down to
you.
20 and only do exercises that aren't painful for your knees until your knees actually heal up. because I think that if you get your knees to a point where the pain plateaus your training, where it's like, okay, maybe you can never do a hack squat again because your knees are just screaming at you so badly every time. It's like, would you pull back for 3 months, let your knees heal up, and then reintroduce that movement? Or do you just say, fuck it, I'm just go for it?
I'm going to say it like this. If I was coaching someone, I would 100% start to pull back. For me, to be completely honest with you, my left knee is surgically repaired. It's not going anywhere. I'm going to be in pain for the rest of my life, and I'm willing to accept that. My hip, on the other hand, I will pull back if something's hurting my hip because that's not a surgery. So, like, yeah, my knee hurts. It's going to hurt. It's hurt for a very long time. I'm okay with that one. My right hip, though, I will cut an exercise or I'll cut some sets back if that's starting to bother me to that extent. But normally, if we hit a Bulgarian or a single leg press and make sure that it's deep, that hit figures itself out relatively quickly. So these injuries aren't exactly new. They're newer this year just because I've been sitting at a heavier body weight for so long. But generally, I've had them before. I know around about what I need to do to fix them. It's honest to God a matter of am I going to be lazy enough to stretch or not? If I stretch, and a lot of the pain goes away. If I don't stretch, that's I'm gonna deal with this for a while. And I could throw little band-aids like squat shoes, but like addressing the issue normally comes around the time that I start losing weight, personally.
Yeah.
So that's my own 2 cents when it comes to volume allocation. My left knee is not going anywhere. I put a little band-aid knee sleeve on it, and I hope to God that I don't see the other side of that kneecap. So, but with that said, everyone, thank you for coming. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I won't cut Colin off as much next week, I promise. Love you, Colin. Big
Hello,
heart.
mate.
But like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell, all that stuff. I'm going to be better with posting these, so we'll get it going. Everyone, have a great day. Thank you guys for coming.
Appreciate it,
Appreciate you
guys.
having us.
Later, fellas.
All right, we out.